If you have been to the Universal Studios in Singapore, you know that there is a spot where three people are dressed up like ancient Egyptians and people come and take pictures with them. So there are two Herculean bodyguards and there's one lady, and they are all dressed up like ancient kings and queens of Egypt. So there's a long queue, and I'm waiting for my turn, and I'm watching people taking pictures. They are doing like this and that, and posing for the camera. And the lady is every time doing this. So when my turn came, and the lady came close to me, and out of nervousness, I stepped back a little. And out of nervousness, I could only do this because I was watching the lady every time do this. So I did this. I was not supposed to do this because other people, they were doing something like this or something like this, something expressive. But when I did this, that lady smiled, and on that spur of the moment, she had to improvise her stance, and she did something like this. I still have that picture with me. That picture, in the hindsight, when I look back at that picture, that teaches me a lot about psychology. So the thing is this, that you can only complement each other. You can never supplement. So two contrasting forces. I'm not just talking about male and female. I'm not even talking about masculine and feminine. I'm talking about introvert and extrovert in that sense. So when people are expressive, she's doing like this, and when I'm doing like this, uh, she's doing like this. So this idea is really interesting, and I think new age dating apps, the problem is not in them. They are very fascinating apps. They are a very good. Uh, they have very good user interfaces, and they have this left and right swipe. It's very user friendly. So it's a very good experiment, but this experiment is bound to fail, is doomed to fail. Why? Because no matter how much good food you serve and how delicious your foods are, unless you understand the hunger, the problem will never be solved. And let me tell you, the longing that we have, this longing, the problem of this longing to fill this void somehow, it can never be solved externally. So this longing, what we call yin-yang forces or masculine and feminine, or in the East they say the longing for Shiva and Shakti to merge with each other, this can never happen in the external gross form. If you have any such expectations, you are hoping against hope, and you are bound to feel disappointed. Because let me tell you this, there are two forces. I will refrain from using male, female, or masculine or feminine, whatever. There are two forces. Let's call it A and B. They can never fool each other's chromosomes. It's impossible to fool your chromosomes, X and Y. You cannot bomb them with tanks and missiles. You cannot do protest marches before them. And you cannot fool them in any way. So A and B, they both are sitting at contrasting ends, and they both have different expectations. With these different expectations, they have come on these fascinating new age dating apps. It can give temporary thrill, it can give a temporary hope, but this hope is not going to culminate into anything long lasting, because A wants temporary solution and B wants a permanent solution. And this is the fundamental difference. A is coming on the dating apps for temporary thrills and frills, and B won't allow A to use these apps to just get away, like in old days. B says no, dating apps are not just another medium for A to get away with everything like you used to do and use us in the past. That's not going to work this time. So B wants something permanent. Unless B sees a picture, a promise of something permanent, or something that is long lasting, that is stable, that is secure, B won't come on the same dining table, and they both cannot dine on the same table unless, as I'm saying, you are serving delicious foods. For sure, it's a good bit of hard work, but you are not understanding the hunger, and they both have varying degrees of hunger, they both have very complicated and varying degree of appetite, the probability is very, very less, once in a million or a billion, for both of them to feel hungry exactly at the same time and in the exactly the same degree of appetite, so that they all can come together and dine on the same table. So A wants temporary, something temporary. B wants something permanent. A wants no strings attached. B wants strings to be attached. Only when strings are attached, then something can result into something long lasting, beautiful. Else, it's the same case of being fragile. So what is the growth? B feels, and A feels, if I had to do this, why would I even come here? I came here for instant gratification, and B feels that what after that? B feels that A is foolish because this instant gratification is never going to give the real fulfillment in terms of gratification. It's a foolish idea, and A feels that B's stubborn insistence on taking the first step only when you see the whole picture, unless you see a promise of a larger picture, only then B will take the first step towards me. This is foolish. This is A's idea and this is B's idea, and there is a there's a communication gap which A and B have to try and do something about it maybe. So there are different approaches. In the East, they try to come up with their own solution called arranged marriages. And in the West, they don't have this thing called arranged marriages. Probably in some parts they have, but they have their own way. Whatever could work. The idea is this: that these new age dating apps are not the permanent solution to get long lasting permanent happiness and bliss. You still have your challenges. I think in future, in coming days, you could even see this, that just like social media profiles are today being locked, you will see that in dating apps, people, mostly B type of people, both male and female. I'm not taking any names. People on the B side, they will try to lock their profile, because if you're not going to give me a permanent promise of a larger picture, why should I even let you intrude, watch my pictures and videos, intrude my guest room, uh, and see my interiors, my furnitures? Why should I let you get crash and intrude in my house if you're not going to stay here for long and be with me in all the thicks and thins? Why should I even let you enter? So going by this logic, there will come a time when B will like to have their profiles locked only for those people who can promise, or who can at least assure to come in and stay for some time, at least for some time, and only then probably A and B can think about their future. This is very, very difficult. Again, as I said, dating apps are not going to be final solution. The longing that human beings have, you may call it by any names, by longing for Shiva and Shakti, longing for yin and yang, and only because they are different and they are at contrasting ends, they can come together, because unlike poles attract each other. So, and once they attract each other and once they come together, then there is no more attraction, because now the purpose is met. So A sees this picture, that once you come together, it's all over. What's the fun? What's the fun in proposing, and then you accept my proposal, and then everything is over. And B thinks, what is the bravado all about when you are not going to propose me? Why should I let you use me for your own instant gratification? I'm not an object. This is a contrasting idea. Something has to work out. As I said, in the East, they try to work it out with arranged marriages, because they thought there are other things in life other than this. There are different way to do creative things, creative excellences in different forms. So they try to make an arrangement so that this upheavals within us do not take a toll in a way that we become it becomes too toxic beyond a point, and we don't have a solution to that anxiety. So this is why I feel the only solution can come from within you. Unless you feel this yin and yang forces within you, unless you feel that completeness within you, only then are you fit to go outside and meet anyone. It can be your local gym, or it can be your dating apps, internal, external apps, real life, whatever you do. Unless you feel complete, unless you are ready, don't venture out. Don't test untested waters, because you should not really start the things you cannot finish. So the real solution can never be outside. No one can give us permanent happiness. The real solution can only come in our deep hours of meditation, in our deep hours of awareness. And this is why the real solution lies within, inside us, not outside us.